Hey, what's up, my people? Jeremy here with another episode of Next Level Students right here at Luella High School. Y'all make some noise. Yeah. And watch this. Today, we're taking questions from 3 more students. First student is Alex. Y'all put your hands together. Welcome Alex to the stage. What's up, my man?
Good.
Talk to me.
I'm a freshman at Luella High School.
Okay.
My question is, how do you deal with feeling unworthy?
So that's interesting. You know, when I was younger, I felt that void. You know what I'm saying? I felt that unworthiness. You know what I'm saying? I felt that abandonment. And so this is what I will say to everybody that feels unworthy. I don't want to say that their thoughts or their feelings aren't valid, because that's how you feel, but you are worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody. Like, I meet some people that have some crazy upbringings. They deal with some really, really rough stuff, and they feel like because of what they went through, that defines them. That don't define them. That will refine them. That will be the very thing that makes them stronger and phenomenal. And so when I come across students that feel like they're not worthy, I'm like, okay, I don't know who told you that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot. Sometimes it comes from teachers. Like I had a teacher in 8th grade, said Jeremy not high school material. He actually told my mom that. And so I felt like, man, I'm not worthy for high school. And unfortunately, I believed that foolishness, which is why I end up getting kicked out and failing over and over. You know what I'm saying? I come across some students because they don't have that, you know what I'm saying, parent in their life. They feel like they're not worthy, but they are. And so you worthy of all the success, you worthy of all the income, you worthy of all the awards, all the certifications, all the diplomas, you worthy of all of it. But we gotta now match our worth to our work. And that's that next level right there. When we say, okay, this is what I'm worth, so now let me put forth the work to match the worth. So I knew what my worth was eventually. I was like, yo, I am worth it. But if I don't put no work in, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like when you see folks out here, the bum on the street or the person that's in poverty, they still got worth, but they ain't putting forth no work. So I'm in a place of life now where I'm like, okay, let me put the work in. I'm in school. Let me apply myself. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm showing respect. I'm showing honor because they worth it. You know what I'm saying? So my worth might be equivalent to how I treat other people, and then I'm gonna put my work with it. So what I want you and every other student watching this episode to know is that you put the work in and you let that work match your worth. And when you do that, that's when you become a next level student. All right, got it. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. Okay, hey, look, next question is coming from India. Y'all show India some love. Yeah. What's happening? How you feeling?
I'm good.
All right, good. Talk to me.
Okay, so I'm India and I'm 11th grade, and I was wondering, how do you help or deal with someone with suicidal thoughts in like the most impactful way?
All right, so out of all the questions I get, the suicide is always like in the top 5. And it's crazy because it shows like how heavy it is. And that's a struggle, you know what I'm saying, with students as young as elementary school, middle school, high school, universities. I found out that 121 people per day in America commit suicide. And so this is my advice to anyone that has a friend that might be suicidal or have suicidal thoughts. First off, you gotta really show your friendship and move past wanting to make them happy. Because I've seen that a lot of people, when they have friends that are suicidal, as opposed to alerting the proper people and letting them know, they kind of don't say nothing because they don't want their friend to be mad and they don't take it serious. We need to take that very serious. So if you've got a student that feels like they want to quit, they want to give up, you got a friend, a classmate, a relative that's struggling, you got to convince them, hey, you should tell somebody, you got to talk to somebody. And if they like, nope, that's it, that's a wrap, then you go ahead and sound the alarm. And they might be upset with you for a long time, and that's okay. But I would rather my friend to be alive and be mad at me and maybe not my friend no more than them to be my friend and I'm at their funeral. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? So what we got to do now is we got to say, okay, let me move past this here. And so what I want to see if we can do though, is if we can get to a point to where we're not even dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I go to schools, I talk so much about speaking life and about being positive and about being optimistic and about showing love, you know what I'm saying? And about, you know what I'm saying, making people feel better. Because they can deal with all this drama at home and then they come to school for a rest haven, you know what I'm saying, maybe a safety net. Okay, they're going to accept me at school, and then they come to school and then we got to deal with insecurity from bullies and other people. And they feel like, you know what, I'm catching it at home, I'm catching it at school. But what if we got, you know what I'm saying, the Luella High School that says, you know what, not on my watch. I'm going to show love, I'm going to speak life to everybody, and I'm going to make sure you feel the love. So even if you deal with drama at home, when you come to school, at least you feel that love, and maybe now you don't want to end. So I would say sound the alarm. You got to let some people know, convince your friend to get some help, and speak life to them, and let's create that culture at our school. Good job. Thanks, bro. All right, good question. Now we're gonna go to our last and final question. Y'all show some love to Ansley. Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
All right, talk to me.
So I know from like a boy's perspective, it's hard when they don't have their father in their life. So how do you think it makes like a girl feel like, why do you feel unworthy if they don't have their father?
Yeah, you know, it's rough because girls need that father. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watching this video now and your father's not in your life, or you in the audience now, I want you to know something. Like, you deserve to have your father hold you. Like, you deserve to have your father help you ride your bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, you deserve to have your father get down on his knees and play Barbies with you. Like, you deserve to have your father, you know what I'm saying, do your hair. So when I meet young girls like you're talking about who feel like they lose worth or they don't have worth or value because that father isn't there, just because there's an absence or a void, like that don't mean you still not worth it. It's his loss that he's not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should be there, but that don't mean that you lose any worth or any value. But a lot of times when they don't know that, what ends up happening is there's a cycle that takes place. And so now that young girl is now looking for love, and the first little boy that's kind of cute, he's not even all the way cute. You know what I'm saying? The first little boy that's kind of cute come our way, and he say, I love you. She bat her eyes, they get intimate, and then she end up pregnant, and he ain't ready to be no father, so now he not there. So now another child is born into the world that's lacking that father connection, that's lacking that whole home, and now they struggling, and the cycle continues on. And so my advice to every young lady or young man that's watching this video, you might be lacking your father, your mother in your life, but that don't mean you lost your worth. I know some amazing, powerful, some highly successful, some of the coolest people you'll ever meet that struggled in that area, but they said, this here won't define me. And so what we can do is we can speak life to them, and you can now let them know, this is what your worth is. This is what your value is. You mean something to me. And I think that's the power of the human element. All right, good question, good job. Appreciate it. All right, y'all, that wraps up our episode this week of Next Level Students. Y'all join me next week. We're gonna be taking more questions right here from Luella High School. I wanna see y'all real soon. Hey, what's up? I hope you enjoyed today's video, and check this out. You gotta subscribe because I've got so many more videos in store for you. And when they come out, I want them to come directly to you. So click subscribe and let's keep building together.